Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital and welcome to this new market update. Again, a little bit earlier, but it's hopefully it's still very valuable and useful for all of you. Because in this video we'll talk a little bit about fundamentals, and we do have some fundamentals to talk about today. It's summer, so the fundamentals then always cool down a little bit. But obviously in the background there's quite a lot of fundamentals going on with all the trade deals. Those matter. There's some tense geopolitical situations going on. Those matter, but those are more on the background. And there are some other fundamentals that are more playing on the foreground that I think we need to speak about as well in this video. So that's what we'll do. And then we'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about Ethereum and altcoins, because I think those are quite correlated and kind of, at the same, dependent on the same factors. So we'll talk about that as well. And then we'll talk about some specific altcoins, which I like and which I think can do well, all right, to kind of help you find the best opportunities. But that's what we'll do in this video. I won't be home later this afternoon, so that's why the video is a little bit earlier again. Yesterday the reception was good, so hopefully you like it again. And I also wanted to say here at the start of the video, thank you very much for 100,000 subscribers. It means a lot to me. I would never have guessed that this could have happened 3 years ago, and but it's absolutely amazing. I still think I can do much better in actually creating a valuable community, and I'm working every day to make that better and provide more value and provide more of that community and to grow bigger and grow a real movement around what we stand for in transparency, solid analysis, and a little bit of Dutch. A little bit of realism, I guess is the best word I can get to right now. But still wanted to express my gratitude. Thank you for that. Let's get right into it, into the video right here. So fundamentally, the fundamentals at this point of time, regardless of those things happening in the background, are fine. Are fine. If you take a look at the S&P 500 futures, which obviously the real market is closed right now, but if you look at the futures, we continue dropping down a little bit over the course of the night and the Asian session, but this is still very much in an uptrend. And if you take a look at the volatility index, which is very low, if you take a look at gold, which is stable, although it's breaking out a little bit, but ultimately it's still stable. And there's no other things really influencing the price either. Fundamentals are still great, and for crypto specifically, if you take a look at something like the Coinbase Bitcoin premium, that's still in a premium and stable. And if you take a look at something like the funding rate heat map, that's not overheated. We saw some early signs of overheating the 18th of July. But that has very much cooled down, so that's good to see as well, even though at some point of time this will become very relevant. So let's get to the market. So first of all, Bitcoin is moving fine. As expected, it's still within range. What I said this morning is that I thought a bearish breakdown was a little bit more likely. I still think that. I mean, we've had some beautiful price action since then, but ultimately we're waiting for a breakout. And at this point of time, there is not a lot of momentum or something in the price. So yeah, the key levels to watch are 119.6 thousand. And 116.7 thousand. We're waiting for the price to break above that, and then if it has volume, if we're able to get a good close, a sustained close above or below that level, then we have a breakout. And I think you should be ready for both, even though I still think it's a better opportunity to wait for the pullback lower. Don't fully wait for that, right? So I still think you should have exposure to this market at this point of time, but that is when I will enter major new positions. I'm in some positions already, like I said. So that's Bitcoin, but the main story this morning was Ethereum, right? And Ethereum has a major influence on how altcoins do. And what we said this morning is that it was absolutely crucial that Ethereum was going to be able to hold this level at 3,620. And we did, right? As you can see, we precisely hit that level and then started to move up. But I still think over the rest of the day, and especially also after the New York session open, I still think we need to hold that level. And I still think that is going to be a test, especially with Jerome Powell speaking later today, that might influence the prices of crypto. So that is still key. I don't think it's said and done yet, because again, we held that level with relatively low volume. So that's a level to hold. If we can hold that, which I said this morning and I will repeat it, we are doing right now. So as it stands right now, we should still assume that the markets are going to be bullish, but drop down below that and it's probably a good time to de-risk. Because that's, like I said, that has an influence on altcoins as well, especially Ethereum beta, but you can see others. The altcoin index has pulled back a little bit, found support so far. If Ethereum is going to break down below 3,620, altcoins are going to dip down quite significantly, and we'll see probably a move into $280 or $275 billion at least, which on average is a move down of about 10%, and that's going to be 5% for some altcoins, 20% for others. So be aware of that. But that is the most important thing I think you need to know for today regarding the fundamentals, Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins. Now, there's a couple of coins that I think you need to know about. First of all, Solana ecosystem, still doing absolutely amazing. So far, Solana has also been quite strong. Solana had a massive breakout. I expect, potentially with a pullback, and that is something for you to figure out. But I expect the Solana ecosystem, so that includes Solana, that includes Jito, that includes Jupiter, to do extremely well. And then there's some other coins that I do think you need to be aware of that are doing quite well. Spark is still doing exceptional. No, that's not Spark. Spark is still doing exceptionally well. I would not buy right now, but with a pullback, this is an amazing project. And I actually mentioned this in one of my other market updates, and did insanely well. And we actually bought this yesterday in the Signal group as well, which is up 65% right now. That's definitely the best trade I've had in the entirety of, no, I'm not sure, but one of the best trades we've made in the Signal group in July. Then outside of that, I mean, what more do we have? Athena is still incredibly strong. That also had a massive breakout. Arbitrum fundamentally is actually doing great. Definitely one to watch as well. But that is like my main focus at this point of time is definitely Solana ecosystem. So that is also something I'll keep you updated on, and I think you need to monitor that as well. But those are my thoughts for this afternoon. Hopefully I'll be back in some sort of a way later this afternoon as well. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Take care and bye.